Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin ashrafil mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Yeah, amma ba'd. So we're going to talk just a bit more about Masdars, yes, and because of the time constraint, we'll just do Masdars tonight. We won't even start the numbers. We'll start fresh next week, and we can learn how to count in Arabic, inshallah, or at least how to write numbers in Arabic. So we were looking at Masdars, and you know that Masdars are very interesting nouns, yeah, because the original Masdars, yes, Sister Raleigh?
Sister, can you mute me because I can't mute myself?
Oh, okay. So let me see. How do I mute you? Here we go. Yep, muted. Right. So Masdars has, as you know, right? They represent actions. The original Masdars represent actions, meaning actions that are not tied to time. Yeah, because time will require you to have a fa'il and maybe even a maf'ul. But when an action is represented by Masdar, you don't need either. Yeah, because it's just a representation of an action. So we saw what we called as Masdar Meme. This is a Masdar that is formed with the meaning, the same meaning as the Masdar Asli. When I say Masdar Asli, is the Masdars that you get with your normal rules, yeah? Like if it's family 2, it'll be Ta'liman, yeah? Things like that. So these are the Masdars that have the meaning of the original Masdars, but they are formed differently. We'll go through this quickly today. And then we have something called Masdar Sunai. Now, these Masdars are not formed from verbs, yeah? Strangely enough, they are formed from other isms, yeah? They are formed from other isms. We saw this as well. And tonight, inshallah, we'll do two more, Marah and Hay'a. Yeah, Marah and Hay'a. So let's go quickly through Mimi. So this particular Masdar, as we said, it has a mim that is added. Yeah, that is added. And we said that it's not of this pattern, mufa'ala, because mufa'ala is from family 3, yeah, jahada, yujahidu. And the wazn, or the pattern, is maf'al. So if these are your root letters, fa, ain, and lam, yes, then it would be maf'al. And this is meant for those with 3 root letters, only 3 root letters, yeah, fi'il sulasi, or the mujarrad family. Yep. Now, if it is غير sulasi, meaning that, you know, you get your family 3, family 4, family 10, these are your mazid fi, yes, which is not mujarrad or غير sulasi, then we would take the fi'il mudari. We would take the fi'il mudari, which is ma'lum, the active action, not passive, and we replace, yes, the ya mudara'ah, which is what we get for your huwa fi'il mudari, yeah. The ya mudara'ah, we replace it with a mim, yes, with a madmuma, with a dhamma in front. This is for ghayr sulasi. For sulasi, it's maf'al, yeah. For this one, we have things. I don't have examples here, but you can go back to your notes, yeah, about that. But it starts with a mu, yeah, it starts with a mu. And here is when you have a fi'il sulasi, which is misal, yeah, which starts with wow, ain dal, wa'ada, for example, yeah. So then the pattern would become maf'il, yeah, because of that misal, because of that weak letter in front. Okay, so this is going quickly to the different patterns of Masdar Mimi. And we had something called Mimi Shazza, which doesn't follow any of these patterns. Yeah, so but whatever it starts with a mim. If it starts with a mim, then you look at it and see whether is this a Mimi or is it from the original Masdars. If it's not from the original Masdars, then highly likely it is a Mimi. Yeah, inshallah. Then we saw Masdar Sunai. Sunai is from the verb sana'a yasna'u, to make or to produce. So it's made or produced from another isim. Yeah, we saw this. So why do we use a Masdar Sunai? It's used to express the different attributes or qualities, and states meaning the condition of that particular isim. Yeah. So what do I mean by this? How we form it, like I said, we have a ya with a shadda and a tamabuta at the end. Yeah. And it's not to be confused with the feminine form of the isim to which you have add ya nasab. Yeah, like makiyah. Yeah, makiyah is not a sunai, although it has a ya, a ya shadda as well as a tamabuta. Yeah, that is more for the nasab. Yeah, so I didn't give any examples here, but you can think of, if you remember, rohbaniyah was one example that we saw. Jahiliyah, that is also another sunai. Yeah, because they came from jahil. Jahil is an isim, and then they just add the shadda with a tamabuta. It became jahili. Yeah. So these are your sunais, but not to be confused with the nasabs. It's not like Makiyah or Iraqiyah, yes, or Arabiyah. These are not sunais. They are your nasabs. Okay, so now let's look at the new masdar tonight. Now this is masdar marrah. Marrah, you know, it's something that is repeated, but repeated only once. Yeah. So it's also called isim marrah, yeah, instead of masdar marrah. And what you do is yusawu, what's yusawu? It's also created, yeah. This is a passive yusawu. So it's all sila yusawu, yeah, to be made or to be created from the masdar asli, yes. And it actually tells you that the fi'il or the action, yes, or the event is done only once. Marah wahida. Yeah. So it's made from the original masdar, denotes an action that happens only once. So this is what we call masdar marah. You've seen this in the Quran. Yeah, we've seen this in the Quran. So when it is a three-letter fi'il, then the wazn is fa'ala. Fa'ala. This sounds very familiar, isn't it? So if you have the verb daraba, the original masdar is adrab. Yeah, this one, darbun. Then your masdar marah darbah. Daraba darbah means that the action was done once. Yeah, darba, this action was done once. Or qawl, you say qawlah. This is also, he spoke once, just once. Yeah. And jalsa, he just sat down that one time. Yeah, so it means it happened one time. Yeah, masdar marah. Sometimes you have masdar marahs, masdar asli, yeah, the original masdar that's already in this form. Yeah, then if that's the case, then you would actually have to add the word wahida to show that it's happened once. Yeah, because the original masdar itself is already in this form, fa'ala. Yeah, so that's why we have to put the word wahida. Yeah, kalimah wahida. So here we go. Like da'wah. Da'wah is a proper masdar, a regular masdar you find in your dictionary for the mujarrad da'a. Yeah. So because it's already in that form, you have to say that you want to say one call, you have to add the word wahida. Yeah, wahida. So I think you've seen this before, especially about when we talk about the one shout. Remember one shout that happens on Qiyamah? This is one of those. Yeah. So rahmah is also a proper masdar, an asli masdar or original masdar. So you want to say he showed mercy with that one time. Then rahmah wahida. Yeah, here as well. Nafah wahida. Yeah, because these are your masdar asli and it's already in the form of fa'ala. Otherwise, just like darba, it's understood it's once. Yeah, it's understood that it's done once. So that's marah. Now let's move on to the next one. Oh, sorry, I put here soiha. This is the one shout. This is the one that's famous. Yeah. Okay, anything else? Oh, when it's ghayr sulasi. So what do we do when it's ghayr sulasi? Meaning it's not daraba, or or just now what we saw. These are all singles. Yeah. So da'a rahima nafaha swaha. Yeah, these are all mujarrad. So now we go to the ghayr sulasi, which is this. Then what do we do here? We just take the original Masdar, like in this case, family 10 is istighfar. This is your Masdar, asli, and you just add a buta. Istighfara. Yeah, istighfara. And this will be your Masdar. So they ask for forgiveness just once. Yeah, istighfara. Now, sabaha tasbih. Tasbihah. They made tasbih once. Yeah. And if, let's say, even in the case of the ghayr sulasi, if the original masdar all is already in the form of marra, then we add the sifa wahida. Yeah, we add the sifa wahida to show that it has happened once. So like iqamah wahida. Yes, he stood once. Yeah, or maybe here musara'ah wahida. He wrestled once. Yeah, musara'ah is to have a close contact fight, more like wrestling. Sara'a, musara'a. Okay. Of course, we have exceptional cases. Malhuza. What you need to understand about this, okay, is that when we talk about Masdar Marra, we're talking about an action that has to take place and can be seen. You saw just now, like daraba, to hit someone. Yeah, it's a physical action. Yeah, it's a physical action. Like when you say sayha, it's a shout. You can hear it. It's something that you can see and hear and feel. Yeah, so this is what hisiyah means, an action that is tangible, physical. So you cannot have a Masdar Mara for an action that is not physical. Can you think of an action that is not physical? Sister Rani? Sister Nada? What action would not be physical?
Yes, Ustazah?
Yeah, what do you think? What sort of action that we would do that is not physical? Doesn't require, your hands and feet.
Speak.
Or speak, you're speaking with your
Oh, yeah,
mouth.
it requires mouth.
Yeah, so it's still
Mala,
his.
what?
You're doing it now. When I ask you the question and you're doing it.
Thinking.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Good. Alhamdulillah. Thinking doesn't, it's not a physical action. Yes. So fahima, anima. Yes. So these ones cannot have amara. Yeah. They cannot have amara or jahil. No? So it's not an action. It's more like an aql. Yeah. It's more like a thought thing. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Now this Masdar Haya, it's a little longer the story about Masdar Haya. So what is Masdar Haya? It has many names. Yes, just like Yomara, it can also be called Ismu. So Ismul Haya or Masdarun Nawa. Now why do we say this? Remember I said that the Masdars convey a meaning of an action. It's not time. It's not tied to time. Maybe there's no present tense, past tense, no amma. Yeah, that means no doer, no maf'ul. Yeah, it's just a representation of an action. Yeah, like or in Bayina we call it an idea. Yeah, so but sometimes when you use a masdar, and we have learned that masdars can be used in other cases where it actually conveys an action that is being done. Yes, so Nawa here will tell you that this is how the action was done. Okay, how this action was done. So the definition here is here. Yusara again, yeah, and it is made from the Masdar Asli, and it refers back. Yadullah in this case is that it goes back to the sifa of the event or the action. Yes, and how it took place. Yeah, and how it took place. So it is an ism that is made from the original masdar to indicate the characteristic characteristics, yeah, of the event when it occurs. Yeah, wuqu'ah is when it occurs, takes place. So for this, you can only have masdar hay'ah for 3-letter fi'ils. Only the mujarrads. Faqat. Only the mujarrad. So if you see anything, any action that involves like istighfar, for example, yeah, or jahada, yeah, you will not have a haya. It's only meant for 3 or mujarrad fi'ils. Yes? Okay. I'm translated that in English for you. Okay. So now, how do we make it? How do we form this masdar hay'ah? So the hay'ah is jilsah. Jalasa talibu jilsata muriha. Well, this one is from the word rayaha, means to relax. Yes. Not istihara, sorry. Istirahat, for example, istirahat is to rest. Yeah. So it comes from that. So this is muriha. And it's telling you that the student sat down, and he sat down in a way that is comfortable. Yeah, a comfortable position. He didn't sit in a peculiar way where he might hurt his back or anything, but he sat in a comfortable way. Yeah. So if I were to do a little translation of this, I would say the student sat in a comfortable position. This looks like a mawsuf sifah. Yes, sifah, comfortable, mawsuf position. Jilsata muriha. Okay. So if there was no muriha and we said something like jalasat talibu jilsa, it's more like a maful mutlaq. Yeah, he sat down or sitting, if I say that. But normally, how would you translate that? I mean, it's like emphasis going on the way he sat down. He just sat, that sort of emphasis. So jalasat talibu jilsa without the muriha, it would not be a masdar hay'ah. It would be closer to a maful mutlaq. Yeah. So this is something that we need to understand. Yeah, the why we have the hay'ah, because it's describing the action. So here it's describing how the student sits. Yeah, he sat in a comfortable position. So yeah, this is just explaining what I've just said. And what type, that's why it's called nawa. Yes, type. And yeah, that's it. And remember mariha. The mariha is what we call a qarina. Yeah, a qarina means there is a link between that sifah and the action. The masdar hay'ah and the action. Yeah, you have to have the qarina to indicate that this masdar is connected to an action. All right. Without the qarina, without the sifah, it doesn't say that this is how the action was done. It will be more like, as I said, like a maf'ul mutlaq, some sort of emphasis, or something else, depends. Okay, so this qarina is a link to haddadu. So what do we mean by haddadu? It's to specify, to indicate, so that we know that this masdar is a hay'ah. If that qarina is not there, that link is not there, like the sifah just now, marina, we would have known that it is not masdar hay'ah because it doesn't explain. It doesn't explain what he said. It just gives the impression that it's sat down in a certain way, but it doesn't explain you what way. Yeah. Okay. Any questions so far about this? No. So, two ways of creating this link that highlights or defines this masdar. For example, in this one jilsa is a hay'ah. Yeah. One, when there is sifah that goes along with it. This is quite clear. Yeah, a comfortable position. Yeah, a hard knock. Yeah. So these are hay'ah. Another way is and oh, would you like to write and translate this one? Anyone? Al-Asad Talibu Jilsatal Asad Asad. How did he sit? Can you hear me? Yeah. How Asad? Sister Raleigh, wanna try? What's Asad? Shall I unmute the mic for you? Is it? I have to unmute the mic for you. Okay. Uh, hmm. I can't seem to unmute the mic either. Subhanallah. Hear me, ladies. Yes, it's lion. Correct, it's lion. Yeah. It is lion. Alhamdulillah. I can't unmute you. I muted. Subhanallah, it's a good night. Okay. So this is an idafah. I did a literal translation. It will be something awkward like this. Yeah? Students sat in the position of the okay. Because we're talking about idafa, right? The word after all. So this would have been the awkward translation. Proper translation. Oh, my voice is breaking. How about now? How about now? Better? Inshallah. Okay. I hope
Yes.
so. Oh, good. Alhamdulillah. So I would just say the student said like a lion. Yeah, we just say the student said like a lion. So again, there is this connection. How do we get this connection? Do we have something like a sifa, or we have something like Allah ilay to the Masdar? Then we know that it's describing something. Yeah, it's describing something, something that is definite, or something that is highlighted in terms of its right. Okay. Now, what about this? There are some cases, however, yeah, we don't have a sifa, we don't have an idafa, but it's still considered a masdar hay'ah. Okay, so look at these two masdars. This is the pattern, fi'lah, remember, fi'lah. It's not enough for it to have this pattern, fi'lah. It wasn't like marah, where, you know, when we say daraba, means that that is marah, yeah? But it wasn't like meme where you have the mim in front and you know, oh, okay, this is meme. Yeah. Or the sunai with the shadda and the tamabuta, and we know that okay, this is possibly either sunai or dasab, depending on the meaning. Yes. With hay'ah, it's fi'la is not sufficient. First, it's pattern fi'la. Yeah. Second, it must be a 3-letter noun. Remember, 3-letter noun. Hay'ah does not exist for anything else. Yeah. And then there must be the qarina. There must be this description of the masdar. So when you look at this, there is no sifa and there is no mudaf ilay. But I'm saying to you, kitla and zabaha is actually hay'ah. Yes, it's actually hay'ah. So why do you think I say this? Why do you think I say this? You can type in the chat if you like. Why do you think I say this? So let me translate this for you to make it easier. Okay? If you kill, kill well. And if you slaughter, slaughter well. Right? So what is it here that gives you the impression that this is hay'ah? Remember, it is a masdar that describes the action. It's a masdar that describes the action. So the translation says kill well, slaughter well. So what here, what is it here along here that gives you the connection? The idea that, this must be hay'ah, because it's telling me that if I'm going to do this action, I've got to do it well. The repetition? No, not the repetition. There is no repetition, right? You mean the qataltum kitlah. Is that what you mean by the repetition? Yeah, I think so, but no. It's not this repetition. It's not this repetition. This would mean if you kill them, then kill. Yeah. No, if you kill, which doesn't sound as if it's describing the action of killing, does it? No, it doesn't. Actually, it's the ahsinu. This fi'il, this verb, ahsinu. The fa. Not the fa either. It's the actual verb. Fa would be just saying it's more like an atfin, right? Something that follows the action of qataltu. Yeah. So qataltu fa ahsanu. So these are two actions. One, first you kill, and then you do good. Yeah. Remember, this is like representing the masdar hasana. Hasana means to do a good deed, right? Hasana is a good deed, basically. Yeah. So this is tricky, I know, but sometimes we don't realize it. But this is how it goes. Yeah, this is how it goes. So in the above hadith, this is a hadith. There is no na'at sifah, as I said, and no idafa to show that kitlah and zabha is masdar hay'ah. Yeah, there's none of these. But yeah, the karina, the link is actually the verb. Yeah, the verb ahsinu, which has the meaning of the na'at hasana. So it's as if there is like well. So this is like maususifa. Yeah, only problem was the well came after the slaughter. In this case, usually you have your mausuf and then only what described it, right? But this is an action. So it's something like a maususifa, but it's not. Yeah. But it's in the form of verb and kitlat. This one is your description. Yeah, description of masdar hai. If I were to rewrite it in this form, it's like saying, like this, yeah. Iza qataltum faqtulu kitlatan hasna. Yeah? Wa iza zabahtum fasbuhuz zabahatan hasna. Zabahatan hasna. Yeah. So if you kill in a good manner. Remember, hasana means a good deed, right? So when you do it well. And if you slaughter in a good manner. Yeah, so this is another way of looking at it. And that's why we know that kitlah and zabaha is actually masdar hay'ah. Yeah, don't worry about this too much. When we come across it as we go on in our studies, inshallah, then the meaning or the significance of this will come in. Yeah, it will come in. But know that this is what happens, and your karina is what describes the masdar. Yeah, your karina is what describes the masdar. So you know. I mean, how can you say that a masdar describes something if there is nothing to tell you that it's a description, right? It will just be an action. Remember, masdar is just an idea of an action. So you need this karina to show that this action is being described. Yeah, so that's why you need the karina. You need the sifah. You need the idafa and the verbs in this case. All right. So from fi'il sulasi, as I said, you can only have ayah from 3-letter fi'ils. Daraba darb, dirba Yeah, dirba. Fi'la. Jilsa, we saw this just now. And wikfa, yeah, and this is your adi, which is the same as your asli. Wukuf, yeah, just some definitions here. And you treat it as feminine, of course, because we have the topabuta. Now, you can have something like that, but it's not a masdar hay'a. I repeat again, it has the meaning of hay'a. That means it describes the action, but it's not a masdar. It will be just a normal masdar, not a masdar hay'a. It will just be a normal masdar. Okay, with fi'il ghai sulasi, because sometimes you want to describe an action using the masdar, right? So, and some masdars are in the form of ghai sulasi. So you need something like it. So what you do is, you've seen this before, I'm sure. Yes. So let's say with the three-letter fi'il, we have the pattern, remember, fi'lah. And all the other conditions, it has to be 3 letters, right? There must be a karina. Then only we call it masdar hay'a. Yeah, so 3 letters, there is a karina. Yeah, and what did I say just now? Oh, mashallah. 3 letters, there is a karina. And yes, you were going to type something. Never mind. Well, when I remember, I'll highlight it back again. Yeah, so we had 3 conditions that had to be fulfilled before we can call it masdar hay'a. Yeah. So when there is when there is no special, when it is ghai sulasi, there is no special form, right? So when there's no special form, what we do is we give it an idafa and sifa, like what we do with the normal masdar hay'a, but we use the masdar asli, yeah? And just to convey the meaning of how the action was made. But we don't call this masdar hay'a. We just use a normal masdar. Yeah, so example here. Ikraman aziman. Yeah, this is a normal masdar. Just like if I drop aziman, this would be maf'ul mutlaq, and this would be maf'ul mutlaq, fi'il maf'ul mutlaq. But with aziman, it gives a meaning of masdar hay'ah. Yeah, the ikraman gives the meaning of hay'ah, but it is not a masdar hay'ah. Yeah, because it's ghai sulasi. So by being a fi'il that's ghai sulasi, more than 3 letters, it already disqualifies itself as a masdar hay'ah. But at the same time, we have a need to describe certain masdars. So that's why we have this same technique that we can use with those type of fields, the ones with more than 3 letters. So one is not, I honored the student greatly, or I greatly honored the student if you want. Yeah, that is also a possible translation. Then akramtu at-taliba ikramal ahi. Yeah, so in this case, with the honor of a brother. Yeah, so you can write, I honored the student as I honor a brother. Yeah, better translation for that. Subhanallah. So, like I said, we do not call la nusammi this masdar hay'ah. It just gives you the meaning of hay'ah. Yeah, just to emphasize what I just said. So this is just masdar asli, ikram with sifah or idafa. Oh, sorry. Now, Asha, Ya'ishu, Isha. Now, why did I say this? Because we're looking at something, this question. Is there masdar hay'ah in the Quran? It's not as many as Meme. Okay, it's very rare, and I've only got 2 examples from the Quran. Yeah, and the first example is easily understood. The second example takes a bit of thinking. Okay, so فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. Now, Isha is not Aisha. Isha is from Asha, which is to live. يعيش and عيشا. This is your Masdar asli. So عيشة is hay'ah. Yeah, it has the meaning of Masdar asli in the form of fi'lah. Yeah. So he will be in a life of bliss. So he's doing a living, and how is he doing this living? In a condition of radiyah. Yeah, in a condition of radiyah. Yeah, something that is pleasant, something that he's pleased with. Yeah, I mean, it's something that he likes. Yeah, so this is why we translate it as he will be in a life of bliss. So this is something that you find in Surah Al-Haqqa and Qariyah. That's the reference for you. Yeah, and the Karina here is the Sifah Radiyah. We know that this is a Masdar Hay'ah. Why? 3 letters, and then in the form of fi'lah. That was the condition. The third condition is in the form of fi'lah, and of course it has a karina. Yeah, so that's why we know it's a Masdar Hay'ah. This other example, yes, Sibghat Allah, Sibghat Allah. Remember, we're looking at Sarf, all right? We're looking at Sarf. So it's not going to say it's a Masdar Hay'ah in your i'rab, because that's Nahu. But Sibghatallahi is actually a Masdar Hay'ah. Now, this is like an idafa by itself, right? No action in front. Anyway, no fi'il. So, but remember, Masdar is in itself, in a way, in an action. And when we see an idafa with this sort of Sibghatallahi, because it's actually describing sabagha yasbi'u, sabghan, a marking. So the indelible marking of Allah. So it's a marking, and what sort of marking? Allah. Yeah, it's a marking of Allah. Yeah, we go back to Allah. Yadulu to Allah. And who marks better than Allah? Yeah, nobody else. Yeah, and for him we are worshippers. Okay. This is of course not Masdar Hay'ah. Why is it not Masdar Hay'ah? Because there is no karina. There's no karina. Yeah. Ahsanu here is a tafdil. It's a comparison. Yeah. This is actually is this an action or a isim? Okay. Let's pull this up here before we leave for tonight. 2138. Let's look at the era. 2138, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Here it is. Sibghatallahi. So what is ahsanu? It's not a fi'l. Yeah, it is an isim. It's a khabar. Yeah, in this case. Yeah. And here they say this is tamyiz. Yes, because it explains the khabar. And here, because like I said, we are looking at the sarf aspect. We are looking at the sarf aspect, right? Here it says it's maf'ul mutlaq mazuf. Yes. So we are, so this is another way you can remember what I said, that as like a jala, you set sitting, right? You sit sitting, and that sitting, the jalsa was supposed to be full mutlaq. Yeah, there's some will look at it this way. Yeah, but for us, we understand it. We are like a little bit more advanced, and we look at it as Masdar Hay'ah. Yeah, we call it Masdar Hay'ah. So Sibghatallahi is Masdar Hay'ah, this one, because of the idafa form, and because it's describing an action that, as the i'rab that you saw just now, the action itself is mahzuf. Yeah, it's mahzuf. So yes. Okay, any questions so far? Can't unmute yourselves. You can type the questions if you have any questions. Dia the buffer. This is the idafa. Yeah. No? Okay, alhamdulillah. So if you're all right, then we will end here for tonight. Yeah, and inshallah, next lesson we will start numbers. You will know a bit more on numbers. Yes, Sister Raline. Okay, Allah. Amin wa iyyak. Subhanallah wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Barakallahu bikunna for attending our session tonight. Alhamdulillah bil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام أستاذة.
Okay.